the chamber of the Galactic Council, was made to silence people before they spoke. It was vast and open, shaped like a deep bowl of light and stone. The floor was smooth and pale. The ceiling rose so high that it faded into a soft white glow. Sound traveled slowly there, as if the room itself decided what deserved to be heard. Around the chamber were many levels of seats. Each level was built for a different kind of being. Some seats were narrow and tall, others were wide and low, some floated without touching the ground. A few were filled with water or mist. At the very center stood a single platform. It was bare, with no cover and no railings. Anyone who stood there could be seen by everyone. That platform was empty. For now, the Galactic Council had existed for longer than most species could remember. It was formed after wars, collapses, and long ages of fear. Its rules were old. Its methods were careful. Its power came not from weapons but from control. Trade routes, shared knowledge, and access to safe space all passed through the Council's systems. To be welcomed by the Council was to be protected. To be ignored by it was to struggle. To be opposed by it was to fade. Earth had been noticed. Humanity was new to the wider galaxy. Its first faster-than-light signal had reached Council space only a few cycles ago. At first, Earth was marked as harmless, interesting but small. Its technology was uneven. Its politics were messy. Its people argued loudly and often. Then things changed. Human ships appeared in unexpected places, not in fleets but alone or in small groups. They traded, learned, and moved on. They listened more than they spoke. They asked questions that showed they understood more than they should. Human technology improved fast, not in straight lines but in sharp turns. Where other species refined one system for centuries, humans tested many at once. Most failed. Some worked far better than expected. The Council watched. Some members were curious. Others were uneasy. A few were afraid. Fear was the reason for the summons. The message sent to Earth was short and formal. It spoke of balance, responsibility, and shared space. It requested that Earth send representatives to answer questions before the Council. The message did not mention consequences. It did not need to. On Earth, the message was read in many languages. Screens across the planet showed the same words. Leaders, scientists, and planners studied it closely. There was no panic. No emergency meetings. No sudden show of force. Earth had expected this moment. For years, human analysts had warned that fast growth would draw attention. They had planned for many outcomes. This was one of the calmer ones. 3 people were chosen to go. They were not chosen because they ruled. Earth had no single ruler. They were not chosen because they were famous. Many humans would not know their names. They were chosen because they could listen. They were chosen because they could speak plainly. They were chosen because they understood fear and did not let it guide them. The ship that carried them was modest. It was not large. It did not shine. It carried no banners or symbols meant to impress. Its systems were efficient and quiet. Its design favored safety and redundancy over speed or power. As it entered Council space, it was scanned again and again. The scans searched for weapons. They searched for hidden drives. They searched for signals. They found nothing alarming. That, to some Council members, was troubling. The ship docked without delay. Automated systems guided it into place. No honors were given. No threats were made. Everything was correct and cold. The 3 humans stepped out together. They wore simple dark clothing. No medals. No rank markings. Only a small symbol on their sleeves showed Earth as a blue circle crossed by thin white lines. They walked calmly through long halls shaped by many hands over many ages. The walls shifted in color as they passed. The floor adjusted its shape to their steps. Other beings watched them. Some showed open interest. Some turned away. Some stared with clear dislike. The humans noticed all of it. They did not comment. At last they reached the chamber. The doors opened without sound. The chamber quieted. Thousands of eyes, lenses, and sensors focused on the central platform as the humans stepped onto it. The space felt heavy, as if gravity itself leaned inward. The humans stopped and stood still. They did not bow. They did not speak. They waited. A deep tone filled the chamber. It was not loud, but it carried through every level. The sound marked the start of formal session. At the highest level, the speaker rose. The speaker's body was tall and thin, shaped by careful design rather than chance. Its skin reflected light like polished stone. Its eyes did not show color, only brightness. When it spoke, its voice seemed to come from the room itself. "Representatives of Earth," the speaker said, "you stand before the Galactic Council by formal summons." The lead human, a woman with short dark hair and calm eyes, inclined her head slightly. "We understand," she said. "Earth has been observed," the speaker continued. "Your expansion exceeds projections. Your development lacks coordination with established systems." The words were smooth. The meaning was sharp. "You operate without council oversight," the speaker said. "You share technology internally without restriction. You adapt too quickly." The chamber remained silent. The woman listened carefully. She did not interrupt. "These patterns," the speaker said, "have led to instability in the past." Images appeared above the platform. Worlds lit up, then dimmed. Trade paths broke apart. Civilizations faded into silence. No violence was shown. None was needed. "The Council exists," the speaker said, "to prevent such outcomes." The woman looked up at the images. Then she looked back at the speaker. "We agree that stability matters," she said. A ripple passed through the chamber. Some members leaned forward. Others shifted in discomfort. The speaker paused. "Then you accept guidance." "We accept discussion," the woman replied. "This is not a debate," the speaker said. A man beside her spoke. His voice was quiet but clear. "With respect," he said, "any exchange of ideas is a debate. The question is whether both sides are allowed to speak." Murmurs spread. The speaker let silence fall again. It was a practiced move, used to weaken resolve. It had worked on many species before. The humans waited. They did not rush. They did not glance at each other. They stood as if silence did not trouble them. At last the speaker spoke again. "Earth is not a full member of this council." "We know," the woman said. "You trade beyond assigned limits." "Yes." "You refuse imposed regulation." "We refuse control," she said. "There is a difference." A low sound moved through the chamber. "Control ensures order," the speaker replied. The third human, older than the others, lifted his head. "On Earth," he said, "control often begins as safety. Over time it becomes fear wearing a uniform." The speaker's eyes brightened. "You have been summoned to be warned," it said. New images appeared, charts, long trends, worlds marked in fading light. "Those who refused guidance," the speaker said, "lost access, lost support, lost relevance." The humans studied the data. "When did these events occur?" the woman asked. The speaker paused. "Across many cycles." "How many?" the man asked. The pause stretched longer. "Several hundred cycles," the speaker said. The man nodded slowly. "That explains your caution," he said. "It explains your fear," the woman added gently. The chamber stirred. "You mistake caution for fear," the speaker said. "We used to make that mistake too," the woman replied. The speaker straightened. "Earth must choose, accept structured guidance or face isolation." The word isolation echoed. The council had learned long ago that fear of being alone was stronger than fear of force. The humans were silent. The older man looked around the chamber. He met the eyes of small species and quiet observers. "May we ask one question?" he said. The speaker hesitated. Refusal would show weakness. "One," it said. The man nodded. "How many of you joined this council because you were inspired?" Silence spread. "And how many joined," he continued, "because you were afraid not to?" The silence deepened. "This is not relevant," the speaker said. "It is to us," the woman replied, "because you did not summon us to teach, you summoned us to test us." "To test what?" the speaker asked. "How easily we would bend," she said. The speaker did not answer. "Earth has been warned before," the man said, "by empires, by systems, by certainty." "We listened when it made sense," the woman said. "We refused when it did not." "And what did that earn you?" the speaker asked. "Survival," the woman said. The lights dimmed slightly. The session was ending. "Earth will be given time," the speaker said. "A short time." The humans inclined their heads, not in submission but in acknowledgement. As they were led away, quiet thoughts followed them. The council had tried to make Earth feel small. Instead, doubt had entered the room. And doubt, once planted, was hard to remove. The humans were led away from the chamber through a different hall than the one they had entered. This hall was longer and narrower. The walls were smooth and dark, broken by lines of soft light that moved slowly like breathing. No guide spoke. The silence felt planned. The three humans walked at an even pace. None of them spoke until they reached the waiting room prepared for them. The room was simple: 3 seats, a low table, no windows. The air was clean and carefully balanced. The door closed without sound behind them. "They wanted us off balance," the younger man said at last. "Yes," the woman replied, "and they expected fear." The older man sat down slowly. "They expected us to ask for time or permission." The woman shook her head. They already decided what they wanted. The meeting was theater. Outside the room, unseen and unheard, observers took note of every movement and tone. The council had assigned several species to monitor the humans closely. They recorded body language, speech patterns, and long silences. What they saw did not match their models. The humans showed no signs of stress. That concerned the observers. Time passed. The council believed waiting created pressure. Many species became anxious when left alone after a warning. They imagined outcomes. They replayed words. They weakened themselves. The humans waited. They spoke quietly. Sometimes they did not speak at all. After a long while, the door opened again. This time, the humans were escorted not to the main chamber but to a smaller council room. The seats here were fewer. Only select members were present. The speaker was there. So were representatives of older and younger species alike. The humans were invited to sit. This alone was a change. "Earth has been given time to consider," the speaker said. "We are considering," the woman replied. The speaker inclined its head. "Then this session will address specifics." A display formed above the table. It showed lines of trade, data flow, and shared systems. "Earth's technology growth rate exceeds safe limits," the speaker said. "Unchecked development destabilizes shared space." The man leaned forward slightly. "According to whose limits?" he asked. "According to precedent," the speaker replied. The older man smiled faintly. "Precedent is useful," he said, "but it is not the same as truth." A murmur spread among the council members. The speaker's voice remained calm. "Earth has not experienced large-scale galactic collapse. We have." "Earth has experienced collapse," the woman said. "Repeatedly, we survived by adapting." "Adaptation without restraint leads to chaos," a council member from a heavy, stone-like species said. "Sometimes," the woman replied, But restraint without adaptation leads to decay. The stone-like being said nothing more. The speaker changed the display. It now showed a projection of Earth's future trade routes. Your independence threatens balance, the speaker said. Others may follow. The man nodded. Yes, he said, they might. That is the concern, the speaker replied. The older man looked around the room. Is it, he asked, or is the concern that you will no longer be needed? The room grew very quiet. You assume too much, the speaker said. We assume preparation, the woman replied, because we were summoned with warnings, not questions. A younger council member, small and bright-eyed, spoke up. What does Earth want? It asked. The speaker turned sharply. That is not. It is fair, the woman said gently, and we will answer. She paused. Earth wants cooperation, she said. Not control, shared space, shared safety, shared learning. And if the council refuses, another member asked. Then Earth continues alone, the man said, as we planned. This was noted. The speaker folded its long hands. You planned for isolation. Yes, the woman said, we planned for many outcomes. The display shifted again. It now showed limits, restrictions, narrow paths. Isolation is costly, the speaker said. We know, the older man replied. So is dependence. Several council members exchanged private signals. The speaker studied the humans closely. Earth does not fear being alone, it said. We fear stagnation, the woman replied. The speaker leaned back. You believe yourselves exceptional. No, the man said. We believe ourselves human. Confusion flickered across several alien faces. The older man continued. We fail often, we argue, we break things, then we fix them together. The speaker was silent. You speak of unity, it said at last, yet Earth is divided. Yes, the woman said, and still we move forward. The younger council member leaned closer. If Earth joins the council under guidance, it asked, what will you change? The woman considered the question. Some things, she said, not our nature. The speaker stood. This session is concluded. The humans were escorted out once more. This time, whispers followed them openly. Some council members watched them leave with narrowed eyes. Others watched with something new. Hoping. High above, the speaker remained still. The intimidation had not worked. Worse, it had revealed cracks. And Earth had noticed them. The council chamber was quiet long after the humans had left. Many members remained in their seats. Some spoke in private channels. Others sat still, watching the empty central platform. The speaker did not move. For the first time in many cycles, the council felt unsure. Earth had not reacted as expected. There had been no panic, no anger, no desperate offers. The humans had listened, answered, and walked away as if the meeting had been only one step in a longer journey. That unsettled many. A senior council member, old even by council standards, broke the silence. Its form was broad and layered, like stone shaped by water. They are dangerous, it said. In what way? Asked a younger member. They are not afraid, the elder replied. Fear is predictable. Across the chamber, another voice answered. Confidence can be false. Sometimes, the elder said, but not this time. The speaker raised a hand. We will review Earth's record, it said, in full. That alone surprised the chamber. Normally, such reviews were done before a summons. Data streams opened. Human history unfolded across shared displays. It was chaotic. Wars, alliances, collapses, recoveries. Long periods of struggle followed by sudden leaps forward. No smooth path, no single guiding authority. Several council members recoiled. How did they survive this? One asked. They adapted, another replied quietly. They should have destroyed themselves, said a third. They tried, someone else answered, many times. The speaker watched in silence as Earth's story continued. Plagues were shown, followed by cooperation. Resource shortages followed by innovation. Division followed by fragile unity. Each crisis should have ended them. None did. What worries me, the speaker said at last, is not their strength. The chamber waited. It is their expectation of hardship, the speaker continued. They assume resistance, they plan for it. The elder stone-like member nodded. They are not shocked by threat, it said. They are shaped by it. Far from the chamber, the three humans were also being watched. They had returned to their ship. No guards followed them inside. No restrictions were placed on their movement. That was not kindness. It was confidence. Inside the ship, the humans gathered around a small table. They are arguing, the younger man said, reading delayed signals. Good, the woman replied. That means we disrupted their balance. The older man leaned back. We did not go there to win, he said, only to refuse to lose. Outside the ship, other signals moved. Messages from minor species reached Earth's network quietly. They were polite, careful, curious. They asked questions. Earth answered. Not with promises, but with openness. Back in the council chamber, a new session formed. This one was closed. We could limit their trade, one member suggested. They are already preparing for that, another replied. We could restrict their travel, said a third. They build redundancy into everything, the elder said. Cut one path, they find three more. The speaker listened. What of demonstration? Asked a voice from the shadows. Silence followed. Demonstration invites response, the speaker said, and response invites escalation. The council had avoided escalation for centuries. That caution built this order, the elder said. And froze it, replied a younger member. The speaker turned toward the younger voice. You believe Earth is right? It asked. I believe Earth is honest, the younger member said. That alone is rare. The speaker considered this. Another display appeared. It showed models of future outcomes. In many, Earth was isolated. In many, Earth thrived anyway. That disturbed the council deeply. Meanwhile on Earth, preparations continued. No emergency announcements were made. No speeches filled the air. Factories adjusted quietly. Networks rerouted. Trade agreements were reviewed and strengthened. Not in fear. In habit. Earth had learned long ago that survival favored preparation over panic. Back in council space, the speaker requested a private channel with the humans. The request was granted. The image of the speaker appeared in the ship's meeting room. You are difficult to read, the speaker said. We are used to that, the woman replied. You assume isolation will not break you, the speaker said. We assume it might, the older man said. That is why we prepare. You could have avoided this, the speaker said. Compliance would have been easier. Easier is not always safer, the woman replied. The speaker was silent for a long moment. You challenge an old system, it said. That creates risk. So does refusing to change, the man said. The channel closed. In the days that followed, the council delayed its decision. That delay spoke loudly. Other species noticed. Some reached out to Earth openly now. Others watched from a distance. Trade routes shifted slightly. Information flowed faster. The galaxy was adjusting. The council had tried to intimidate Earth. Instead, it had revealed uncertainty. And uncertainty, once seen, spread quickly. The delay could not last forever. Across council space, the pause became the story. Ships waited longer at checkpoints. Messages took more time to return. Meetings ended without decisions. The council had always moved slowly, but this was different. This was hesitation. Other species noticed. Some were old members, shaped by centuries of rules. Others were newer, still learning how the galaxy worked. All of them felt the same thing. The balance was shifting. On Earth's ship, the 3 human delegates followed the changes with calm focus. Data flowed across their screens. Patterns formed quickly. "They are stalling," the younger man said. "Yes," the woman replied. "They are hopping. Pressure will do the work for them." The older man nodded. Pressure works best on those who expect comfort. Earth did not. Messages from Earth continued to arrive. None carried panic. None carried orders to retreat or submit. Instead, they carried updates. Trade routes adjusted. Supply chains strengthened. Research groups shared results faster than before. If isolation came, Earth would meet it prepared. Elsewhere in Council space, private conversations multiplied. A small trading species met quietly with human envoys. They asked careful questions about Earth's technology sharing. Earth answered openly. Another species asked about joint research. Earth listened. None of these talks broke Council law. They simply used the space between the rules. Inside the Council chamber, tension grew. "We are losing control," one senior member said. "We never owned it," replied a younger voice. The elder stone-like member shifted heavily. "Order requires limits." "So does growth," the younger member replied. The speaker listened, unmoving. "What we do now," the speaker said at last, "will define us." Silence followed. "If we isolate Earth," said one member, "others will see it as fear." "If we do nothing," said another, "we invite defiance." The speaker turned toward the displays. They showed dozens of species, each watching the Council's response. "We intended to intimidate," the speaker said. "Instead, we have been studied." That truth settled heavily. Earth was not reacting. Earth was observing. A formal message was prepared. The Council summoned Earth once more. This time, the tone was different. The humans returned to the chamber. The platform felt less imposing now. The lights were softer. Several members leaned forward instead of back. The speaker spoke. "The Council has reviewed Earth's position," it said. The woman inclined her head. "You have been offered guidance," the speaker continued. "You have not accepted." "That is correct," the woman said. "You have also not withdrawn," the speaker said. "That is also correct," the man replied. The speaker paused. "You walk a narrow line." "We are used to that," the older man said. A display appeared showing a proposed agreement. It was softer than before, fewer restrictions, more shared authority. "This is our revised offer," the speaker said. The humans reviewed it. "This still places final control with the Council," the woman said. "Yes," the speaker replied. "Then our answer remains no," she said. Murmurs spread through the chamber. "You refuse compromise," a member accused. "We refuse imbalance," the man replied. The speaker's voice sharpened. "Do you believe the Council cannot act?" "We believe you can," the woman said. "We believe you must decide whether acting preserves stability or ends it." The speaker stared at her. "You place responsibility on us," it said. "Yes," she replied, "because you summoned us." Silence stretched. Then something unexpected happened. A younger species stood. "We wish to speak," it said. The speaker hesitated, then nodded. "We joined the Council seeking protection," the younger species said. "But we see now that protection has a cost. Earth showed us that another path exists." Another member stood. "And we agree," it said. The chamber stirred as more voices joined. Not in rebellion. In reflection. The speaker raised its hand, but did not silence them at once. The humans stood quietly. They did not smile. They did not speak. They let the moment unfold. At last the speaker spoke again. "The council will recess," it said. This had not happened in generations. The session ended without decision. As the humans left the chamber, they were no longer alone. Several species followed them into the halls. Not openly, but closely. The intimidation had failed. The council's authority had cracked, and Earth had done nothing more than stand firm. The council recess lasted longer than anyone expected. Across council space, uncertainty grew heavier with each passing cycle. Species waited for direction that did not come. Rules were still enforced, but no new ones were spoken. The council had always been the center of certainty. Now it was quiet. On Earth's ship, the 3 human delegates prepared for departure. They had not been told to leave, but they knew the moment was close. "They will either try one last time," the younger man said, "or they will let us go." The woman nodded. "Either choice changes everything." The older man looked at the stars beyond the hull. "They are not deciding what to do with us," he said. "They are deciding who they are." At the same time, the speaker stood alone in a private chamber. Displays showed countless projections, each branching into more paths. In some futures, Earth was isolated. In many, Earth endured. In others, Earth became a center of something new. What disturbed the speaker most was not Earth's success. It was the Council's fading role. For centuries, the Council had believed itself necessary. It had guided, restricted, and shaped the galaxy. It had prevented collapse. Or so it believed. Now a single young species had arrived, not with weapons, not with demands, but with refusal. Refusal to be afraid. That refusal had spread. Messages arrived from member species. They were careful, respectful, and honest. They asked for clarity. They asked for change. The speaker realized something then. Earth had not challenged the Council directly. It had challenged the assumption that the Council was the only way. A final session was called. The humans were summoned once more. This time the chamber felt different. The lights were balanced, the seats were full, many members who rarely spoke were present. The humans stepped onto the platform. No weight pressed down on them now. The speaker rose. "Representatives of Earth," it said, "this session will conclude our engagement." The woman inclined her head. "We are listening." The speaker paused. Its voice carried less certainty than before. "The Council was formed to prevent chaos," it said, "to guide growth, to protect the many from the few." Several members shifted. Over time, the speaker continued, guidance became habit, habit became control. A low murmur moved through the chamber. "Earth has refused that control," the speaker said, "not with force but with preparation." The woman said nothing. "You have shown," the speaker said, "that isolation is no longer an absolute threat." The truth of that settled heavily. "Therefore," the speaker said, "the Council will not impose sanctions on Earth." A wave of sound passed through the chamber. The speaker raised a hand. "Earth will remain outside formal Council authority," it said, "by its own choice." The man nodded slightly. "But know this," the speaker continued, "this choice carries risk." "All choices do," the woman replied. The speaker looked at her for a long moment. "Earth is free to depart," it said. That was it. No threat. No punishment. No victory speech. The humans inclined their heads and turned to leave. As they did, something unexpected happened. A member species stood. Then another. And another. They did not leave their seats, they simply stood. A sign of respect. The humans paused, then continued walking. They did not look back. Outside the chamber, life resumed its quiet motion. Ships moved, signals flowed. But the galaxy had changed. Earth's ship departed Council space without escort. No barriers closed behind it. No warnings followed. On Earth, the news arrived without drama. No celebrations filled the streets. No fear spread. Life continued. But something had shifted. Species began to contact Earth openly now, not in secret, not in fear. They asked about cooperation, about shared research, about trade without pressure. Earth responded carefully, not as a leader, not as a ruler, as a partner. Within the Council, changes followed slowly. Committees formed, rules were reviewed. The Council still existed, but it no longer stood alone at the center. The Speaker watched these changes with quiet acceptance. The attempt to intimidate Earth had failed, but something else had been gained. A reminder. Power was not held by those who threatened the hardest. It was held by those who were ready to walk away. Far from Council space, the human delegates returned home. They were not welcomed as heroes. They were welcomed as people who had done their job. The galaxy would remember the moment differently. Not as the day Earth defied the Council, but as the day fear stopped working. And humanity took its place, not by force but by choice.